Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII. This is part 4. Last time we left Midgar, and the open world is waiting for us. The journey has now begun. We infiltrated the Shinra building, we freed Aerith. President Shinra has been killed by Sephiroth, denying him access to the Promised Land, and we are in pursuit of Sephiroth to save the world. And that's where we find ourselves. We are now on the world map listening to the beautiful main theme of Final Fantasy VII. Such a gorgeous piece of music. And we're heading over to Calm. But before we head on over to Calm, we will probably have a few enemy encounters along the way. And that is very important for us, because we need to get enemy skills. Enemy skills is very important. There's a couple of enemies that we will be looking for. Just a few enemies that we'll be looking for that can do some lovely abilities for us. And I don't think these are the ones, but we do get to see and appreciate some really cool monster designs that I really love to see. Like, they're like, let's make a monster a motorbike. Like, it's all in one. It's a monster that is a motorbike. Like a goddamn chopper. And it's so cool. And something that is I was thinking about before starting this episode is something I really think is cool about doing a game that I'm very familiar with on the channel whenever we've done non-blind playthroughs before. It's really exciting because I get to play the game in a different way. I play the game you're playing it for like an audience, and you're also doing it in an episodic Let's Play format, so it's so different. It allows you to take opportunities to do different things, or maybe slow down a little bit as well, because when you play it on your own, you're able to really just speed through everything. You're not talking to anybody, you're not really showcasing anything, you're just playing the game. And something that I really love is being able to play an RPG like this and be like, cool, I'm going to use some like different party arrangements than is what I usually do. I'm usually like a Tifa and Barret, or a Barret and Red 13 sort of party at this point. And I didn't really use Aerith as much when I play, but I want to like focus on using Aerith a lot more, and changing up the party arrangements to giving everyone some equal screen time. Some equal screen time, for sure. To really utilize the party members instead of having some particular favorites, but it's kind of really enjoyable in a sense, feeling a little more connected to the story, I guess, when you're doing it for a Let's Play, because my brain is usually switched off. This is my comfort game. I just sit here and I love this game so much, but when I'm doing it for a Let's Play, I get to actually talk about things and engage with it and share things that I'm aware of, and share that excitement with other people who really love Final Fantasy, and especially this game as well. So it's just a really special experience, I think, an opportunity to be able to do replays sometimes instead of the constant blind playthroughs. I think it's a nice change of pace as well. Instead of playing a game where I fumble around for a little while before I figure it out, to have something that I'm experienced with from the get-go, so it gets to showcase a different side of myself too, which I think is pretty important. So none of these at the moment are a good opportunity for enemy skills. We want to get the Matra Magic, and I think that is the main one that we're able to get here, and then a little bit further ahead we're able to get some other ones. But the enemy skills are going to be really nice for us to grab, because there's a lot of useful ones. A lot of hidden ones too, that are not really clear on how you would get those. And those ones are the ones that you really want too. We'll see if we can steal just any items from these. The high potions from the motorbike monsters is a good one. No dice today. I'm not sure how long it'll take us to get a specific enemy, so I'll probably run around for a little while and wait for that to pop up, and then we can proceed to Calm and meet the others. Alright, we've found our boss. Found our big boss. This is what we need. So we can get an enemy skill, Matra Magic, from these, and we can also steal atomic scissors for Barret as well. So we'll probably just take one of them out. There we go, we've learnt Matra Magic. Wonderful. Now we just need the atomic scissors. There we go. Okay. We have the atomic scissors for Barret, and now we can get on with our day. Finish it off with the sled fang. Nice. So, Matra Magic and the atomic scissors are the two things that you want to obtain before heading through the calm. So that's that done. Now we can check in with everybody. And this is essentially how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to pick up, right? It's, you've left Midgar, you're heading to Calm, and that's the journey, right? That's the beginning, which is just fascinating. And the images that we've seen revealed of Calm are just mind-blowing, because it's such a small little location in this game, and then we get to see expansion on it in Dirge of Cerberus, for example, and the remake definitely seems to be making it feel like more of a fully fleshed out town than more of like just a plaza, which is really exciting. It looks brilliant. Here we are. We've made it to the inn. This must be Calm. Wonder if everyone's there already. Let's hurry over to the inn. Let's go, Cloud. Thanks to the Marco Energy Shinra Inc. develops for us, everything's more convenient now. Oh, come on, listen to me. Got anything interesting to say? Now, we're going to explore these houses and the rest of Calm later. We will explore around when our party is back with us, because there's some other interactions that you can get. Like, there's plus points for Barret if you actually talk to a character in a certain way. It's kind of interesting. We'll get there in a bit. The famous floating city, Midgar. Just once I'd love to see it in person. I heard President Shinra was killed, and his son Rufus, the new president, was badly hurt. Hey, I bet that's news to you. You're pretty smart. Just between us, I heard it was them what-do-you-call-ems that got President Shinra and his son. I hear that the natural resources near the reactors are being sucked dry. We're better off with Marco Energy. I wonder what is sucking those natural resources, sir. My old man was a miner, but he couldn't go to work after monsters started appearing in the mithril mines. Now all he does is sit around getting drunk at the bar. Speak to the people on the outside. Let's head into the inn for something cool. Mr. Cloud, your party's waiting for you on the second floor. To piggyback on what I was saying before about the Let's Play being an opportunity to do things differently, it's also like when you replay a game for the 1000th time, you don't pick up every item, you don't talk to every character, like you kind of like cruise on through, like you know what is going on. And I think it's really cool to like take the moment to appreciate all of the things when you do a Let's Play. I'm like, I'll do the voices for the characters, check out everything, and even like pick up on things that you've even potentially missed as a result, or because it's been so long. It's kind of fun to talk to every character and see what they have to say. Cloud, you're late. Yo, man, you're late. Sorry to keep you waiting. Kept you waiting, huh? Guess everyone's here now. So let's hear your story. The one about Sephiroth and the crisis of the planet. Let's hear it all. I used to want to be like Sephiroth, so I joined Soldier. After working with Sephiroth on several missions, we became friends. You call that a friend? Yeah, well, he was older than me and hardly ever talked about himself. So I guess you'd call us war buddies. We trusted each other until one day. One day? One day. After the war, it was soldiers' duty to put down any resistance against the Shinra. That was 5 years ago. I was 16. Here we go, baby. The 5-year flashback. 16-year-old Cloud. I love this portion of the game. A lot of people were theorizing and thinking, and makes sense to think so, that this game, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the upcoming Part 2 of the remake trilogy, was going to start just without any sort of intro whatsoever. It was just going to begin with the flashback sequence, with that sort of history before taking us back to Calm, which I think would have been such an incredible way to have an intro segment to a new game, because basically Rebirth is that part 2 of a trilogy, but it's a brand new full game on its own. And having that sort of idea of a lower leveled younger Cloud in an introductory segment, the beginning of the game, makes a lot of sense as a way to like ease you into the game, ease you into combat all over again, and to start fresh. For those who might be trying to rush in to Rebirth, because a lot of people do that all the time. New games come out and they're like, oh, do I need to have played this one first? And that happens with every single game series ever. Do I have to play the game that comes before it in the continued story? And so most people will end up watching like summaries, or the games will give you recaps. And I think that this is a good way to provide you some context of what's going on to start the game this way. Ideally, nobody should skip any game in a series, but everyone's got limited time, so what can you do? It sure is raining hard. Hey, how you doing? I'm alright. I wouldn't know. I've never had motion sickness. Everything okay? Hey. Settle down. They gave me some new materia. I can't wait to use it. Just like a kid. You gonna brief us about this mission? This isn't a typical mission. Good. Why do you say that? I joined Soldier to be like you, but by the time I made first class, the war was already over. My big hopes of becoming a hero like you ended with a war. That's why I always sign up whenever there's a big mission, kind of a way to prove myself. Say it, how do you feel, Mr. Sephiroth? I thought you wanted a briefing? Our mission is to investigate an old Marco reactor. There have been reports of it malfunctioning and producing brutal creatures. First, we will dispose of those creatures, then we'll locate the problem and neutralize it. Brutal creatures? Where? The Marco reactor at Nibelheim. Nibelheim? That's where I'm from. Hometown. Sir, something strange just crashed into the truck. That would be our monster. What music, right? Here we go. Will we survive? Oh, he's attacking Sephiroth. That's a good start. Will Cloud survive the fight? Let's go! Cloud survived! If the dragon goes for Cloud first, it's all over. He's got 140 health. He lived! And that is one of the most crucial reasons why it's so cool to maybe have this as the introductory segment, because Cloud is like super tiny. He's weak. He's got barely any health, and Sephiroth is like I have the highest HP you've ever seen in the game so far, and I do like 3,000 damage with my sword, and I just loved like the music and the rainy atmosphere. And something that I'm really looking forward to is I really think that they are going to make that fight so much more, because that fight is so over. It's so quick. And I think that they might do the same thing with the Guard Scorpion that they did in Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they turned it into this full-on event, because it's one of the most memorable first bosses. And this can be this game's first boss, and they've confirmed like actual playable Sephiroth. He's not doing his own commands like he did in that fight where he's just on autopilot, but you'd be able to control him, do some abilities. You'll have synergy attacks most likely between Sephiroth and Cloud, maybe, which is going to be amazing, because something to think about that's really important here. And I am going to, even though I said that, hey, we're going to talk about spoilers and whatever, for this specific moment, I'm going to say I'm talking about spoilers just for a moment. So I'm doing this hand wave as a spoiler warning, and then block your ears, and then I'll do the hand wave again, and it means the spoilers is over. Block your ears. Okay, so we know that it's Zack and Sephiroth, not Cloud and Sephiroth, and Zack is actually a second-class soldier getting bumped up into first class, and by the time of the Nibelheim incident, Zack is big boy. He's strong. He's capable. You know, we have played his character in Crisis Core. We've seen his story. So I think it's going to be a lot different. It's not going to be Cloud is really, really weak baby, and Sephiroth is really, really strong soldier. There will be a little bit of a bridging of the gap, and we'll be able to have Cloud being controlled, actually doing some damage. Still, Sephiroth is probably going to be leagues above, but it's not going to be exactly the same. So I think we'll see a little bit more of a capable Cloud in his combat than what we see in this original game, because Crisis Core has given us so much more context now, and also the fact that you know, a lot of people are sort of aware of what's going on now way more than they did when obviously this game first came out. And it even shows in how Cloud acts in like with his voice. From what we've seen, is it's more elevated. It's like mimicking Zack's voice, which is really fantastic. So just like something to think about is, I think the flashback sequence is going to be so much more than what it is here, and I'm really looking forward to it. And there's our spoiler segment. Just because it's a big one. Sephiroth's strength is incredible. He is far stronger in reality than any stories you may have heard about him. So, where do you come in? Me? I was mesmerized by the way Sephiroth fought. Note that, like, Tifa never says anything in response. He just kind of, like, thinks about stuff while everyone else is engaged. And then we reach Nibelheim. How does it feel? It's your first time back to your hometown in a long time, right? How does it feel? I wouldn't know because I don't have a hometown. How about your parents? My mother is Genova. She died right after she gave birth to me. My father... There you go. There's the first really important drop. Is my mother is Genova. Starts having a bit of a laugh. It's like, my father? What does it matter? Alright, let's go. Psst. Keep wandering around here and you'll get in trouble. You gonna watch so boring. You wanna do what we always do? Shall we practice? Practice. You mean my pose? Do members of Soldier always have to worry what others think? How did it go? Was it like this? Good job. I really don't want to be in Soldier. I feel you, unmasked. I feel you, mystery masked person. Just sit tight. It's your job, right? I'll come and talk to you once in a while. Just stick with it. The Marco smells pretty bad here. Yo, wait a minute! Barrett doing what everybody would do when they played this game for the first time. They're like, wait a minute, isn't that, the name of Sephiroth's mother? I remember Genova, that's that damn headless spook living in the Shinra building. That's right. Barrett, would you please let us hear what Cloud has to say? You can ask questions later. Tifa, I was only... Okay, Cloud, continue. It's at least acknowledging for everybody here. They're like, just in case you might have forgotten the name, yes, it's the same person. I was really surprised with Tifa. The town was quiet. Everyone must be in their houses, afraid to come out because of the monsters. No, maybe they're afraid of us. Yeah, where's Tifa, guys? How does Tifa come into the story? We leave for the reactor at dawn. Make sure you get to sleep early. All we need is one lookout, so you others get some rest. Oh, and you may visit your family and friends. I heard Sephiroth was coming, so I brought my camera. I want a shot of Sephiroth and a monster. Take my picture. I don't take pictures of nobodies. Okay. Man, I'm so nervous. How come? Look, you never know when a monster's gonna show up, alright? I'm excited. That's right, don't blow your chance to become a hero. Let's go take a look around. We may visit family and friends. Let's have a look at these cool environments. These Nibelheim houses. Oh, you're with the Shinra. Welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, it's you, Cloud. I didn't recognize you. Shinra? Shinra? Soldier? Salsa? Are you going to kill the monsters? Are you going to... He's so cool! Way cool! See how when you talk to the kid by himself, he doesn't say anything. He can only, like, mimic or, like, parrot what his sibling says. Which is kind of funny. Ooh, hang on. Whose house is that? We'll go there in a second. Because we'll do this, so this is funny. Welcome. Hey, aren't you... Have I been here before? I don't remember. Now you're pissing me off. This don't matter, so get on with it. Yeah, if you start, like, going all over the place. This is another funny thing about the backgrounds being cleaned up as well, not being all pixelated, is this sign says, The London. Yes, head on to Nibelheim, the German name. We've got the London pub. And we've got two houses here in particular. We'll go into this one. This bigger one here. Cloud? Did you go into my house? Yeah. I thought you might be home. Cloud freshens up. I thought you might be home. Such a cool looking house. Just raid Tifa's parents' bedrooms. At least this is a house that actually has bedrooms for more than one person. Cloud? Did you go into my room? Yeah. And then I also went and received the orthopedic underwear. Cloud? Just kidding, don't get mad. Cloud, we're talking about something really important here. The letter. Did you read it? My letter? Yeah. You remember what it said? I remember clearly. I read it. It was a letter addressed to Tifa from the son of the guy that runs the general store. Tifa, how are you? I just arrived in Midgar 8 days ago. Yesterday, all of Nibelheim got together to welcome me. The only person that we couldn't get a hold of was Cloud. But everyone said he wasn't really that close to us, so even if we asked, he probably wouldn't have come anyway. Well, enough about him. Midgar is really something, but to tell the truth, I feel so behind on everything. So out of it. Even the rooms of people in the slums are clean. Right now I'm living in the slums, but I plan to move to a really nice room, like the ones I've seen in magazines, once I make some more money. But to do that, I guess I have to find a job first. That's right, I still haven't found a job yet. I lied to my parents and told them I found a great job with Shinra Inc. I wonder if it's too late to go back. Sometimes I think I should have taken over my parents' store. Cloud, do you remember all of it? Yeah, I remember. Because there was some stuff about me. I just made it here to Midgar, but all I think about is Nibelheim. Hey, Tifa, is that stupid old water tower still working? Is the old man at the inn doing well? And my parents still at the shop every day? Have any monsters attacked? And most of all, how are you, Tifa? I feel like I haven't seen you for years. We were all talking about you last night. Everyone likes you, but because everyone idolizes you, I couldn't very well stab them in the back. I always acted cool, but actually, I was just afraid of being jilted. Wow, if I keep writing like this will become a love letter. So I think I'll stop here. Take care. I'll write again. P.S. Write me back, okay? There you go. Did you play my piano? Yeah, I jammed on it. How did this go? I forgot. There we go. Give me the stuff. So you've got now I need to, I think there's... Okay, so, as follows... Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I'm reading the notes that I'm reading are they have the PS1 controls where X and circle haven't been switched. So that's but yeah, you have to play it like 3 times in a row. So you kind of go and you can speed run it. Oops. And you kind of do it 3 times in a row. And then it's like, I've heard this melody somewhere before. I played it well. There you go. See, I played it perfectly. And I made 0 mistakes. All right. So you can play the theme. And it's important that you play the theme a few times, actually. And you will see why later. There are some goodies to obtain by being a master piano player. Now, whose house is this? Oh, this room looks familiar. I think we've actually seen this before in a dream. This is my house. It has nothing to do with what happened 5 years ago. Yo, wait. I want to hear. Me too. It's been a long time, right? Tell us more. You saw your family, right? Alright. I don't know if you'd call it a family. My father died when I was still young. That's why my mom lived alone in this house. Yeah, I saw my mom. My mom, she was a vibrant woman. Hadn't changed at all. But a few days later, she died. But when I saw her, she looked fine. Yes? Cloud? Also, least creative naming of a character ever. So, the name of Cloud is as follows, Cloud. What is the name of Cloud's mother? It's none other than Claudia. And then, obviously, his father's name is Claudio. I have no idea, but what else we got? Cloud with a K. K-L-A-U-D-E. Cloud. Welcome home, Cloud. Hi, Mom. Come, let me take a look at you. Do we think that Cloud's name was actually a translation error all this time, guys, and it should have been K-L-A-U-D because he's from Nibelheim, so he needs to have a more of a Germanic name? You look so handsome. So this is a soldier uniform? Mom, Here you go. This is the scene that we've already seen when we were lying down in Aerith's house, having a little dream. My, how you've grown. I bet all the girls never leave you alone. Not really. I'm worried about you. There are a lot of temptations in the city. I'd feel a lot better if you just settled down with a nice girlfriend. I'm alright. You should have an older girlfriend, one that'll take care of you. I think that would be best for you. I'm not interested. Are you eating right? I'm alright. The company takes care of me. Is that so? I know you can't cook. I've been worried sick about you. Cloud be eating them instant noodles for sure. And just random slop. Cloud? You know, Cloud. Isn't that right, Cloud? I'll always be your mother. Let's stop this. Holes in his memory flashing all over the place. You from Shinra? That's right. Jeez, big-headed young kid. Who are you? I'm the town's... Huh? Aren't you Cloud? Don't you know me? You're Tifa's... Right, I'm Tifa's father. Stay away from my daughter. This mansion? No, I'll come here later. My favorite thing about looking at this gate, by the way, to the Shinra mansion, is it looks like the Final Fantasy VII logo of the meteor with the trail behind it, its little tail. I don't think that's what it's supposed to look like, but it just kind of looks like it. Well, that's all we can do here for now. The whole inn's booked up for Shinra for the night. Huh? Cloud? Is it you, Cloud? It must have been 2 years. Say, you've really moved up in the world being under Sephiroth's command. So 2 years, so leaving at 14. And again, remember that as a kid, it never made sense to me because I thought that Cloud was like a fucking 8-year-old boy because he looked so small in that character model at the well with Tifa that he's like, yeah, I'm just going to leave town and go all the way to Midgar as an 8-year-old boy. Yeah, he was 14 when he left. 2 years later, he returns. Is Shinra here to get rid of the monsters? And who are you? I'm Zangan. I travel around the world teaching children martial arts. Hiya! I have 128 students all over the world. In this town, a girl named Tifa is my student. Did you say Tifa? Tifa has good sense. She'll be a powerful fighter. Ha! Yes, she will. I can't wait to see more of Zangan. I reckon he'll show up again in Rebirth. Every character gets an expanded role. I want to see some Shinra techniques. And if you see anything you can use, you might want to incorporate some of my techniques. Well, good luck. So, what do you need, Cloud? How's the town? Now, about the town. A lot of monsters have been appearing in the last 12 months. Other than that, there's not much change. Nothing much exciting happens in a little town like this. It was alright when they were building the reactor, while they were still building it. But once it was completed, it's been bad. Within a few years, all the trees on the mountain withered away. I don't know if the reactor was good or bad. I mean, it's easy to say when it was a bad idea now, but what can you do about it? Anyhow, we've got to get rid of the monsters. Then we'll be able to relax a little bit. Where's Sephiroth? He's upstairs. And then you can say, give me a room, but it's already booked out. We already have a room. It's all reserved for you, Shinra people, so I don't mind, but wouldn't you feel more comfortable staying at home? With Mother? There's something I really love about this scene, which is really funny. What are you looking at? This scenery. I feel like I know this place. So, as soon as you talk to Sephiroth, a guard comes upstairs. A soldier. We're short one bed. Yeah, so there's only 3 beds. And this is the funny part, right? It's like Cloud's mother is here. This is his hometown. He could go and stay there for the night. But for some reason, stays here, and we're short one bed. But here's the interesting part. Massive spoilers. And we're going to do the hand signals again. That's because we're currently playing as Zack, but with a Cloud mask on. And so Zack, one soldier, and Sephiroth sleep in the same room together, which is already a really weird image in itself. But then Cloud, as in his little soldier uniform, will most likely go and stay with his mother, you know? But because his memory's so fucked, that's why he's just like forcing it to be a different way, where it's like, oh, you should stay with your mother, and then that sort of stuff. Right. Spoilers over. But it's like stuff like that, where just little things that kind of give you a bit of a hint about events. We have an early start tomorrow. You should get some sleep soon. Yeah, let's get some sleep. I've hired a guide to the Mako reactor. I heard she's young. I hope we can rely on her. I wonder who it could possibly be. Think they'd let me take a picture? Late again. I was so nervous I couldn't get any sleep. If I knew this was going to happen, I would have made mountain climbing off limits. Once the guide gets here, we're heading out. Listen to me, Sephiroth, in case something happens. That's right, our guide is none other than Cowgirl Tifa. Zoo-wee mama. Trust me. I'll be alright, Dad. I have 2 men from Soldier with me. I'm Tifa, nice to meet you. Tifa? You're the guide? That's right. So it happens I'm the #1 guide in this town. It's too dangerous, I can't get you involved in this. There's no problem if you protect her. Let's go. Mr. Sephiroth, please let me take 1 picture for a memento. Tifa, can you ask him for me too? Sephiroth has to think about it. Say Marco! Polo! Great, thank you. I'll give each of you a copy once I get it developed. Marco reactor was built in Mount Nibel. Mount Nibel. The cold mountain air of Mount Nibel was the same. This is going to be such a fun area to traverse in Rebirth for sure. I love the designs of these mountains because they are so unique in what they are. Like, they're horrifying looking. Like, look at all of these, like, deathly spikes coming up from the ground. Like, these aren't mountains. This is, like, some sort of hellish landscape. And I think it's really cool that having just really, really unique visuals in that sense. Like, you just, like, look all the way in the distance and there's these spiky, jagged-looking monoliths covered in fog. And I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Like, looking at all of that in the background as well. It's like, yes. You call that a mountain? So cool. Gets harder from here. Follow me. Let's hurry. Yeah, like, look at all of that out there. So cool. I feel like we might have a similar situation where they do tone it down a little bit and they'll make it a little more mountainous. And it's the same sort of thing where I was saying, like, smaller art direction changes, like the reactors being a little more clean and less weird looking. But we'll see. I can't exactly remember what we've seen of Mount Nibel so far in Rebirth footage. The bridge! We put too many people on here at one time! Bye! Everyone seems to be alright. Will we be able to get back? These caves are intertwined like an ant farm. Oh, Sephiroth. One person seems to be missing. It may sound cruel, but we've no time to search for him. We can't go back, so we must go on. We'll travel together from here. Wow, everyone's inside of me right now. Is it a party of 4? No, it's not. It's a party of 2 still. So it's Cloud and Sephiroth. So he's level 50. Look at those stats. And this is great because our little pictures have changed as well to reflect a younger Cloud. Now we have the Buster Sword, we have an Iron Bangle, and we have a Power Wrist. And Sephiroth has a Tough Ring, Gold Armlet, and the Amaza... God, why can't I pronounce it whenever I'm reading it? The Mazamune. Which has 99 attack, 255 attack percent. That man is not gonna miss. Just incredible stats. The Vitality and Spirit plus 50. And then you can have a look at the materia. So this is the new materia that Cloud was given. Preemptive materia. And then Sephiroth gets mastered materia. He's on max life, max cure, max earth, with all materia, mastered fire, mastered lightning, mastered ice. And something that actually is kind of really funny for me is I'm like, is there a reason why they didn't decide to just give a mastered all materia for fire as well? It's just weirdly standing out. And then you can see the stats is just ridiculously different. I really love being able to like get a glimpse in the character's stats that way. And then, yes, as I said before, Sephiroth is on autopilot, so he will control himself, but you get to witness his cool moves as he stands there looking awesome. And also he takes 0 damage because of course. Because why not? And now you get to see some really ridiculous high-level spells in action as well. So cool. Can't wait to see how that's gonna be put into action. What's this? A mysteriously colored cave. It must be the Mako energy. This mountain is especially abundant in it. That's why the Mako reactor was built here. Yeah, so all the fights that we'll encounter here are so much fun. Now, there's no items or anything to pick up here because we're in a flashback, so it doesn't matter. So we'll just run on through and explore some beautiful locations instead. What's this? A Mako fountain. It's a miracle of nature. It's so beautiful. If the Mako reactor continues to suck up the energy, this fountain will dry up too. It's singing. Materia. When you condense Mako energy, materia is produced. It's very rare to see materia in its natural state. By the way, why is it that when you use materia, you can also use magic too? You were in Soldier and didn't even know that? The knowledge and wisdom of the ancients is held in the materia. Anyone with this power can freely use the powers of this land. So anyone with this knowledge can freely use the powers of this land and the planet. That knowledge interacts between ourselves and the planet, calling up magic. Or so they say. Magic. A mysterious power. And Tifa's like, ugh, all this explanation is making me sleepy. Did I say something funny? A man once told me never to use unscientific terms like mysterious power. It shouldn't even be called magic. I still remember how angry he was. Who was that? Hojo of Shinra Inc., an inexperienced man assigned to take over the work of a great scientist. Check that. A little bit of lore for us there. He was a walking mass of complexes. A Mako fountain. So this is where the knowledge of the ancients is. Hojo taking over the work of a brilliant scientist, huh? And you have no idea what kind of statement that is when you say walking massive complexes. Look at this, the pipe work on this reactor is so interesting. Like, alright, we want a big thing, then we want a pipe, and then that pipe spreads into like 6 other pipes that just go all over the place. Alright, what do you got, Sephiroth? What are we doing today? Bulk 3 again? Oh, give us something new! I want to see something else, Sephiroth. Show us your moves. Show us Fire 3 and Ice 3. There are also mods that... there are mods that convert the spell names to what they're normally called in other Final Fantasy games, like Thunder, Thundara, Thundaga, that sort of stuff. But for some reason, in Final Fantasy VII, it really rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. Like, it just doesn't fit for some reason. And I think that just genuinely is because I've obviously grown up with those spell names in this game, that whenever I've changed it, I'm like, no, it doesn't look right. Obviously, that is a lot different in the remake, because it's like from the get-go, it's different and it makes sense. But like, whenever I play the original game, I'm always like, Fire 2, Fire 3. Oh, man. Come on. It's a weird thing, but I don't know. There's something that I love about the whole concept of like Cure 2, Cure 3. And what is this little door back here? Fortunately, we can't interact with it at this time. I'm trying to see if Sephiroth will do anything else. Let's do one more fight. See if he'll give us a little showcase of another materia. If Cloud dies, I don't even know if he uses life. Damn. He's spamming the tried and true move, that's for sure. Okay. I'm trying to remember if I've seen him in the past use other spells. We finally made it. We sure took the long way, though. Tifa, you wait here. I'm going inside too. I want to see. Only authorized people are allowed in. This place is full of Shinra's industrial secrets. But take care of the lady. Ugh, man. Better take real good care of me then. In we go. And wait a minute. This visual is very, very similar to something we've seen before. Wait, deja vu. Deja vu. If you think back to the Sector 5 reactor bombing, the second reactor that we went to bomb with Tifa and Barrett, there was a sequence that just before we went to set the bomb, we passed out on the bridge for a second, and there was a scene in a very, very similar location, almost the same location, if you will, with Tifa and Tifa's father, if you remember. So Cloud passed out and had a little bit of a flashback of his own. Ooh, what's this? Genova? This is the spicy stuff. This is Genova, right? It won't open. This is the reason for the malfunction. This part is broken. Cloud, close the valve. Did you close the valve? Why did it break? Now I see, Hojo. But doing this will never put you on the same level as Professor Gast. This is a system that condenses and freezes the Marco energy, that is, when it's working correctly. Now, what does Marco energy become when it's further condensed? Oh yeah, it becomes materia. Right, normally, but Hojo put something else in there. Take a look. I struggle to line this one up exactly. Like, look through the window. Ah! Jump scare. Scary guy. Whoa. What is that? Normal members of Soldier are humans that have been showered with Marco. You're different from the others, but still human. But what are they? They've been exposed to a far higher degree of Marco than you. Is this some kind of monster? Exactly. And it's Hojo of Shinra that produced these monsters. Mutated living organisms produced by Marco energy. That's what these monsters really are. And here comes the single worst line that could ever be spoken, because now everything changes. It's the bomb. The pin drops, all of it, every single metaphor. Normal members of Soldier? You mean you're different? Whoa, hey, Sephiroth. No. Was I? Was I created this way too? Am I the same as all these monsters? Sephiroth. You saw it. All of them were humans. Human? No way. Ever since I was small, I felt that I was different from the others, special in some way. But not like this. I always found the designs of these monsters so fascinating because we never see them in an actual fight. Am I human? I didn't really understand what Sephiroth meant then. I was even more surprised that Shinra was producing monsters. Damn, Shinra, the more I hear, the more I hate them. I actually think we might end up fighting those specific, like, appearance of monster in Rebirth, potentially. Because I don't think that's an enemy type at all that you see, just those ones in the containers. But I could definitely see them being added as an enemy to fight in Rebirth. Who'd have ever thought the Marco reactor held such a secret? That would seem to explain the increase in the number of monsters recently. I think we should listen carefully to Cloud. Don't you think so, Barrett? Why are you talking to me? We have the opportunity to save the game and rest. Yeah, maybe so. Want to take a breather here? We have an opportunity to save. In Cloud's past. Tifa, were you waiting outside then? Yes. We returned to Nibelheim. Sephiroth confined himself to the inn. He didn't even try to talk to me. And all of a sudden he just disappeared, right? We found him inside the biggest building in Nibelheim. The villagers used to call it the Shinra Mansion. Long ago, people from Shinra used to live in that mansion. Pose. And he goes. The Shinra Mansion. I love taking a look everywhere in this place. Look, there's the piano that's here as well, which is actually quite interesting. So they also have this, if you want. Oh. There's some... There's a couple of keys on the piano missing, I guess. It doesn't play. But there's a second playable piano in the Shinra Mansion. Just love how creepy it all is. Yes, there's a couple of rooms tucked off to the side that you can have a look at, like weird paintings and all sorts. It's going to be great to actually explore this in much higher graphical fidelity. Definitely one of the more memorable locations. Who's tending to this little greenhouse? That's a really important looking safe. I wonder if that's going to come up later. There's no sign of Sephiroth, but I know I saw him go into this room. What is this? An indent. A secret spiral staircase. Such a great angle. Like, look at this. Look at the vibe of this. The actual skull and bones. Can't go in there. Not yet. Maybe something another time. And I love this room, looks so cool. An apparently dead organism was found in a 2,000-year-old geological stratum. Professor Gast named that organism Genova. X year, X month, X day, because we don't want to actually put this in a timeline. Genova confirmed to be an ancient. X year, X month, X day, Genova project was approved. The use of Marco Reactor 1 approved for use. My mother's name is Genova. Genova's project. Is this just a coincidence? Professor Gast, why didn't you tell me anything? Why did you die? My favorite thing about this flashback, because this is our first visual on Sephiroth, right? I was talking about this last episode. You go through the whole Midgar segment not even knowing what Sephiroth looks like, and you finally get to see him in the flashback, and he's this heroic figure, this legendary guy, and just like a dude that you're hanging out with slaying monsters, and then there's this event, this revelation where something snaps inside of him, and you see him researching this, you see him studying, looking into this stuff. Like, he doesn't just instantly go, I'm a bad dude and I'm a villain monstrous figure now, in the way that we sort of recognize him. The way that it shows a slow descent into madness from a specific event, I think is really, really great, and the rebirth is going to give us a even better look into that, because Sephiroth was not, evil. He was this good, heroic figure who's like, I always thought that I was really special. Then something happens, and all of it is completely washed away, and that is due to the nefarious deeds of some other, as of right now, unnamed events. But Hojo is our main sort of name that gets thrown about here, the one that's created these monsters. Let me be alone. He's using all of these books, all of this knowledge to just study what happened. Let's let Sephiroth be alone, shall we? Sephiroth didn't come out of the Shinra mansion. He continued to read as if he were possessed by something, and not once did the light in the basement go out. Sephiroth seems different. And as the bell begins to toll, this is one of my favorite moments in the game in general. Just from a musical standpoint, the soundtrack here being very, very intentional is my favorite part. Super important. Who is it? Traitor. Traitor? You ignorant traitor, I'll tell you. This planet originally belonged to the Cetra. Cetra was an itinerant race. They would migrate in, settle the planet, then move on. At the end of their hard, long journey, it was said they would find the Promised Land in supreme happiness. But those who disliked journeying appeared. They stopped their migrations, built shelters, and elected to lead an easier life. They took that which the Cetra and the planet had made without giving back one whit in return. Those are your ancestors. Sephiroth. Long ago, disaster struck the planet. Your ancestors escaped. They survived because they hid. The planet was saved by sacrificing the Cetra. After that, your ancestors continued to multiply. Now all that's left of the Cetra is in these reports. What does that have to do with you? Don't you see? An ancient named Genova was found in a 2,000-year-old geological stratum. The Genova Project. The Genova Project wanted to produce people with the powers of the ancients, or the Cetra. I am what was produced. Produced? Yes. Professor Gast, leader of the Genova Project and genius scientist, produced me. How did he? Sephiroth? Out of my way. I'm going to see my mother. The name of this track, which is potentially my favorite on the entire soundtrack, it's definitely in my top 5, is Those Chosen by the Planet. Just the way that we get the bell toll leading up to the silence and then the drop of the rest of the music. Out of my way. I'm going to see my mother. Hey, it's you! You're still sane, right? Then come over here and help me. I'll check this house. You check that one over there. Hey, am I gonna die? Sephiroth. Terrible. Sephiroth, this is too terrible. It's like the most iconic Sephiroth shot of all time that we have seen get remade countless times. That single shot of Sephiroth staring back at Cloud through the flames, we have seen over and over and over and over again in so many different ways. And we're going to see it again soon. We will see it again soon. It's so iconic for a reason. And now we get to see the monstrous revelation of Sephiroth feeling that he is the chosen one, that he is, above all, and our pitiful race are traitors to the Cetra, and that is his motivation. Does he have it all right, though? Papa. Sephiroth. Did Sephiroth do this to you? Sephiroth, soldier, Marco reactors, Shinra. I hate them all. There you go. We are 100% going to actually see this play out in Rebirth, I reckon. Instead of us, like, getting to it, I feel like we'll actually see Tifa's father get destroyed. I always find it really strange that I guess it's like Sephiroth having, like, bigger things mentally, right, that he wants to deal with. But he just drops his sword on the ground because he's like, I gotta focus on getting to Genova right now. Mother, I'm here to see you. Please, open this door. How could you do that to Papa and the townspeople? And collectively everyone goes, wait a minute! How is Tifa even alive after that? You promised that you'd come when I was in trouble. Tifa saved. I suppose. Give her a potion. Here we go. Sephiroth says, Mother, let's take the planet back together. I've thought of a great idea. Let's go to the Promised Land. Sephiroth, my family, my hometown. How could you do this to them? They've come again, Mother. With her superior power, knowledge, and magic, Mother was destined to become the ruler of this planet. But they, those worthless creatures, are stealing the planet from Mother. But now I'm here with you, so don't worry. I love the imagery of that so much. Like the oil being like this crying angel. There she is, with her head intact. Genova. What about my sadness? My family, friends, the sadness of having my hometown taken away from me. It's the same as your sadness. My sadness? What do I have to be sad about? I am the chosen one. I have been chosen to be the leader of this planet. I have orders to take the planet back from you stupid people for the Cetra. What should I be sad about? Sephiroth, I trusted you. I didn't even realize that Cloud's wielding Hard Edge. Even though he's got the Buster Sword equipped, I guess it must be because in the future we've got Hard Edge on. I should have changed that. No, you're not the Sephiroth that I used to know. Now we have an epic anime confrontation moment of Flash. And that's the end of my story. Wait a damn minute, that's it? No more? I don't remember. What happened to Sephiroth? In terms of skill, couldn't have killed him. Official records state Sephiroth is dead. I read it in the newspaper. Shinra Inc. owns the newspapers, so you can't rely on that. I want to know the truth. I want to know what happened. I challenged Sephiroth and lived. Why didn't he kill me? I'm alive too. A lot of this doesn't make sense. What about Jenova? It was in the Shinra building, right? Shinra shipped it from Nibelheim to Midgar. Did someone carry it out later? It was missing from the Shinra building. Sephiroth? Damn! None of this makes sense! I'm going, gone! And I'm leaving the thinking to you! Yo, Cloud, let's get a move on. Right. Yo, come on, let's go! Oh, brother. Cloud? How bad was I after Sephiroth stabbed me? I thought you were a goner. I was so sad. The ancients, Cetra, Jenova, Sephiroth, and myself. Let's go. Barrett's waiting. What a fascinating story. There you go, and that's the Nibelheim flashback sequence. So good. Yo, Cloud, here. It's a mobile phone. Changing party members using the PHS. It can only be used on the world map or at a save point. Just use PHS and you can contact any of us easily. Alright then, we're out of here. I think Rebirth is handling this much differently, where you have everyone with you at once, but you have your core party members and then the others are just kind of like roaming around, I think. And that's a great way to do it. It's like how in Final Fantasy X, you have your whole party of the Summoner and the Guardians with you, and then you can just swap them out at will and swap them out during combat, which was my favorite part. And there you go. That was the Nibelheim flashback segment at Calm, and that is where we're going to bring this episode of Final Fantasy VII to a close. Thank you so much for joining me today. Next time, we will talk to the residents of Calm before heading out on our journey to continue pursuing Sephiroth. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.